Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Raccoons, birds, possums, right now they are all trying to get into your home, perhaps your business. If they are, you need to call the Wildlife Division at Southeast Termite and Pest Control. They can prevent them getting in, but if you find something like some sort of critter in your home, in your crawl space, your attic, your basement, or sitting in your living room with you, call these guys because they will trap them and remove them. They do a great job, not only with pest control, but also with critter control. The Wildlife Division of Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, let's be kind of quick in this segment. 3 quick questions, one for each of these guys. Last Sunday, we talked about the fact that defensive lineman Greg Emerson was the latest defensive lineman off the team. He was hitting the transfer portal. In between segments, we all discussed the fact that Darrell Middleton would be next. He was gone this week. So that's 2 defensive linemen. Vince, earlier this offseason, Josh Heupel went out and added a couple of defensive linemen, and we said, well, he's adding to a position where he's got bodies. Clearly, he knew a couple of these bodies were going to be gone.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And now they're down to 11 scholarship defensive linemen. 3 of them haven't played in a Tennessee uniform before, and that's, if Amar McNeil does stick at that position, play offensive, defensive lineman, plus the 2 transfers of that group. It's if you're going to do a lot more 4-down line, you're not even 3 deep at that position. Now, you can make up for it and scheme your way out through that with the hybrid, maybe putting their hand down, some of those edge rush guys. So maybe you help a little bit, but it doesn't give you a whole lot of depth, and they don't have a superstar in that group. So it is concerning to be down to those few bodies.
You're talking about being down to that few bodies before you've ever played a game, before you've even gone through. Somebody's going to get hurt in camp. You always do. You're going to be talking walk-ons. I would expect walk-ons to be on the field probably by mid-season.
At a critical position. I mean, arguably behind quarterback is important a position as there is.
Ryan Callahan, on the other side, Tennessee did add a player, former 4-star cornerback from Alabama, Brandon Turnage, who initially left Alabama for Georgia and then didn't wind up at Georgia. Now he's at Tennessee. What should fans expect from this guy? And is that a red flag, the fact that he's bouncing all over the place?
Well, one thing happened while he was preparing to transfer to Georgia that made that possible. Georgia got another cornerback. They got a transfer from Clemson that kind of came in and made that opportunity not look as appealing to him. So I think very, very simple to see. He wanted early playing time wherever he was going. He said, if I'm going to leave Alabama, I want to play right away. I think eventually he had to make a decision, and Tennessee presented a pretty good opportunity. It's not a guarantee that he starts, but I think there's a very good chance that he plays a lot and very well could start this season. This is a good pickup for Tennessee. I think under the situation, you needed some immediate help at that spot, and this is a guy who comes in with potentially 4 years of eligibility, who's got a couple years under his belt at Alabama. So when you get a guy like that that's got that kind of length, big enough to play safety in a pinch if you needed to also, I think this is a nice addition for Tennessee at a position they really needed some help.
All right, John, I'm going to let you be the bad guy here at the end. As a member of the Vol Network, I'm sure your bosses will appreciate this. The fact of the matter is, I keep reading and hearing people say that, well, you've got these 10 guys that are coming in that are really going to be quick impacts and they're going to help. Yes, you do have, there's 9 transfers in. There's also a long snapper who's the 10th guy. You've got those coming in, and that's great. It's 29 guys. It's about 10 in and 30 out. And that's whether you're looking at guys who have been shown the exit or just chose to leave. Anytime you lose 30, it's hard for me to be excited about the 10 who are coming.
Yeah, I do believe that it certainly is an uphill climb for this staff and what they're doing to get this team ready for the fall. The thing is, they, have to do the best job they've ever done in getting the most out of the roster they have moving forward. They also have to be incredibly fortunate. I mean, as Vince was pointing out, you take a look at the numbers of just that one group, you can't have injuries. Yeah. And we know that the one thing that is going to happen is injury. So
in the Southeastern Conference, yes.
The fact that you are 20 down, it's almost like the penalties have been put in place already, even before we know the hard black and white of what's coming with the scandal that took place in the fall.
That's a great way of looking at it, and God help them if there are scholarship reductions to come on top of all this madness. When we come back, let's talk Vol recruiting, specifically who's coming in, the 8 commitments. We'll look at them, and who Tennessee is beating to get those guys and get their commitments to Tennessee. That's next on the Sports Source. Come on back.